Hello human beings, I am crazylegsjan and welcome back to VR in a Wheelchair. Today we're reviewing a game called Blade and Sorcery. When you start Blade and Sorcery, you can make a character, or choose one that you already have made. After you choose your save, you can adjust your height manually or use the automatic adjustment, which actually works very well. After that you can choose what game mode you want to play. There's two, but currently it's only Sandbox that works. But the second game mode will release this year. The first time you start Sandbox, you are being asked if you want to do the tutorial. The tutorial tells you how to do pretty much everything in the game. It works amazingly at teaching you the stuff you need. The end of the tutorial is also the start of the sandbox, as the house you end the tutorial in seems like a base of operation. You then go down to the boat by the water and choose what map you want to start up, and then the actual sandbox starts. When you get into the maps, you have some books where you can spawn weapons, shields, utilities and consumables. There's also a book where you can choose what difficulty opponent you want to fight. The lowest opponent is one NPC at a time, and they only use melee weapons. It's called training, and I think that is a really good name. It gives you the time to test out how you like to play and test out weapons and skills and such. I tried out a few different weapons, and among those weapons I tried out a shield too. I tried swords of different sizes, I tried spears, bows where I couldn't get the quiver to sit on my back before later, and also some wands. With swords, I figured out that poking with them was the way I should go, especially when I used the shield too. So block their hit and then strike them after. Blade and Sorcery is, as far as I know, currently a demo on what is possible to do with physics and ragdolls in a VR game, and it's amazing. There is some sort of satisfaction of striking down NPCs in whatever imaginary way that you can. The spear was the easiest to use because of the reach. I'm not even sure that I needed a shield at this point, as I think that the shield was kinda in the way. The wands was fun to use. You have to charge them with the spell that you want them to have. In my case, I charged one with fire and the other with lightning. I was hoping that there was a way to shoot with them. Maybe there is, but I couldn't figure it out. Instead I hit the ground with them, and that made a form of explosion. The lightning one basically stunned the NPCs for an amount of time. The Bowen Arrow was probably the hardest for me to use because of the inside-out tracking of the Oculus Quest 2. So when I draw the bow, the headset lost tracking of the hand I draw with. The next part of the problem was of course the quiver problem I had, but I somehow got it to work later in the game. You can do bullet time by pressing the top button on the right Oculus controller to do some cool stuff like here, where I catch an arrow being shot at me. It did take a few tries for me to actually get it down. You also have 3 spells that you can use with both hands by holding down the bottom button on the left or the right hand that opens up the spell menu. You have a fire spell, a lightning spell and a gravity spell. The lightning spell gives you a fireball. The lightning spell gives you basically what I would call a Star Wars lightning with unlimited power from Palpatine. The gravity spell gives you the ability to lift bodies up and rip body parts off. I figured out that by coincidence. And you can also do a push with the gravity spell. You open the options menu by pressing the top button on the left Oculus controller, which opens the book with a lot of settings. Because we are in Sandbox, we have the shovel/bucket menu, where we can adjust some settings in this map. In this case, I made myself invincible. You also have the settings cog menu, where you can adjust a lot of things except your height. I would love to be able to adjust the height on the fly. The game is on Steam for 19.99 euros. It's on Oculus Store for $19.99. It's on Vive Port for 17 euros. It's also part of the Infinity subscription service. And finally, it's on the Quest 2 store for $19.99. Though it's Blade and Sorcery Nomad, I'm not sure if it's the same as the PC version. If you feel like I'm missing something or could have done something differently, then leave a comment. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this video where I'm reviewing Mars.